After last week's successful holiday tips video, and I'm so glad that you guys found it helpful, by the way, our comment question was, what questions do you have for this week's Q&A video? This week being right now, why I'm in this chair sitting here with my phone. So I have 26 questions to get to of all of the questions that you guys sent, which were all amazing, by the way. And what I'm gonna do is answer them for you right now. First question comes from Allison Markham, and she says, what's the best way for disinfecting baby toys during the cold and flu season, especially with drooling, teething babies, to ensure they aren't ingesting any chemicals? This is a great question. We get asked this question all the time, and I have a few answers for this. If it's a fabric toy, you can throw it in the washing machine. You might want to put it in a delicates bag, but keep in mind if it has any eyeballs or crinkly things, you might actually ruin it in the wash, so just be mindful of that. Anything that's plastic without batteries or silicone can actually go in the dishwasher. Again, you can put those in a delicates bag, throw them on the top rack. That should take care of everything, especially if you run it on the sanitized cycle. And remember not to wash it with any dishwashing detergent. Now, if it's something you have to wash by hand, you can certainly start with soap and water. And remember, soap and water is a great cleaner, so you can just use like dish soap and water, clean it, rinse it, and then if you really want to be extra super careful, you can spray it with a little bit of rubbing alcohol, let that dry, rinse it, dry it, and you're good to go. But the good news is I have a huge article on this on the blog, cleanmyspace.com. I will throw it for you down in the description box below. Christine Yamane, and I hope I'm reading your names right, guys. If I don't, please just understand I'm doing my thing, doing my best over here. Says, do you have any Christmas decor? I have a kitten and I'm too afraid to put up a Christmas tree. Well, this room is kind of the extent of all of our holiday decor. This tree over here, this little Charlie Brown tree, pretty easy to put up each year and equally as easy to take down. We have the one little ornament, and the cats really couldn't care less about this tree. I'm sure at some point we will get more decorations. You know, all cats are different, kind of like people. Some really love trees and screw them up. I've heard nightmare stories, and other ones really just don't care. It's another thing for them to walk by and rub up against. Duncandy says, do you or Chad get recognized in public? I think we probably do, but I think people don't come and say hi to us because I don't know why, but anyway, we've officially been recognized once. Actually, I've officially been recognized once. It was a couple of years ago in Montreal. I was at a hotel having breakfast, and the server there named Kyle, hi Kyle, recognized me, and he was freaking out, and then I was freaking out, and it was like this whole freak out experience. It was like really fun and cool. So yeah, if you ever do see me, you'll probably see me like in line at a grocery store or at a mall or something. Like, I don't have an exciting life, so just come and say hi. That's the best I can tell you. M is me says, clean my space, what's the best way to get rid of hair in the bathroom? I have long hair and it is a PITA to get rid of. Please help. Okay, I have long hair too. Here's the best tip I can give you. Take a wet paper towel, not like dripping wet, but lightly dampened, or a disposable cleaning wipe, and use that to get rid of the hair. You never want to use a cloth because the cloth is always going to cling on to the hair. And remember, once you wipe an area and get rid of the hair, don't go back to that area again, or else you're going to put that hair back on the area and it's going to be a big old hairy mess in your bathroom. Carol Spicker says, hi Melissa, what type of cleaning supplies do you use for your cleaning company? I'm assuming they are commercially made, but on the ecological/naturally safe products. Here's the deal. With my company, the way I've chosen to run it is we ask our clients to provide supplies because our staff typically take public transportation. So we give the clients a list of what we would like them to use. A lot of it is the stuff I talk about in these videos: vinegar, baking soda, rubbing alcohol, dish soap, all that kind of stuff. We also sell products, so if any of our clients want products, our staff will bring it to them. And those are all different brands that I have gone through and picked myself because I like them. They're typically Canadian, they're typically, you know, smaller, more indie brands, if you will. But yeah, we don't use like commercial janitorial products. Jessica Rudman says, since it's stomach bug season, a cleaning routine for getting the virus out of your house would be great. So it would be great, and we actually have a video on that, which might be my answer to a few of these questions here. I will link that down below for you, and guys, it's a funny video, as informative as it is also very amusing, so check it out. Ibtisam Walid says, how did you start your cleaning company? Love you, girl. Okay, so there's a long story to it, but I'm gonna try to give you the shortest version possible. I graduated from business school, took a job working at a bank, worked there for 1 year, quit, started waitressing, was looking for a business idea because that's really what I wanted to do, start my own business. And rather than get into something like clothing or jewelry, which is what I really wanted to do, I kept hearing about the need for a good cleaning business, so I decided that sounded like a good opportunity and I would go into that. The problem is, I was not born a neat freak. I did not know how to clean the majority of things. If you ask my mother, I was kind of a messy little nightmare child, so this was all really new for me. Anyway, I started learning and researching and practicing, and basically I went out, I did the cleaning, I built my business from the ground up. Then I established this huge body of knowledge about cleaning so that I could start training people and have them go out and do the work instead of me, and I could focus on building the business. So that's kind of how I got into it. There's a lot more detail, but that's like kind of the Coles Notes version. So hope that explains things. Nancy Gibson Humphrey says, what is the best microfiber cloth to buy? Some I have gotten absorb well, and others just push the liquid around, and I don't use fabric softener or dryer sheets. So Nancy encapsulates a lot of your questions about microfiber cloths, so great ask. The best microfiber cloth to buy, you want an all-around, all-purpose terry style microfiber cloth. So terry is kind of like towel texture, so that's what you want. You want to find something that's thick and plush as opposed to thin. If you hold it up and you can see light coming through it, it's too thin and it's probably not going to be absorbent. So the thicker it is, the more absorbent it is. Thinner ones that you have probably are not good quality, which is why they're not absorbent. And if they are flat weave, like an optical cloth or a glass cloth, they're not going to be absorbent either. And it's great that you don't use fabric softener or dryer sheets, because if you did, that would clog the fibers and make them unable to pick up any liquid, period. Great question. Sage Kaplan says, when did you start to enjoy cleaning and make a YouTube channel about it? Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I've ever once said that I love cleaning or that I enjoy cleaning. But basically, here's the deal. As I just mentioned, I did not have the best relationship with cleaning growing up. But what's happened to me over the years with my business and everything surrounding it is that I have established a very deep level of respect for cleaning. A, because it teaches you to really maintain your stuff and take good care of it, and obviously you appreciate it more. B, it also really helps contribute to a peaceful, sound environment. And C, if it's something that I do myself, I can actually take pride in the work. So all of that I learned after starting my business and going on that whole adventure. And we started the YouTube channel in 2010, and we actually did it with the complete opposite intent of what has actually happened now, which is the most exciting thing ever. We actually started it just to market our service business here in Toronto, to try and get more clients, talk about creative marketing. So there's your answer. Evelyn Torres says, I've always been curious, and I hope this isn't too personal. Do you clean your entire house yourself, or do you have a cleaning company, your cleaning company, come in and help? Thanks and love your videos. Okay, yeah, I know a lot of you guys are really curious about this, and I don't blame you. Like, I want to know too. Okay, so here is the name of the game. Our service services the downtown core of Toronto. Where Chad and I live is outside of the downtown core of Toronto, which essentially precludes my staff from coming where I live because the public transportation doesn't quite make sense. If you've ever been to Toronto, you totally know what I mean about the bejimmered public transportation situation here. That being said, Chad and I, in the past, we have had people come into our house and help a brother and a sister out because we're busy. But at the same time, It's hard to bring someone in because when you're me and you have these eyeballs, nothing works. Like nothing makes me happy anymore, so I just have to do it myself. And Chad and I are quite good at it and we're quite fast, and honestly, we wouldn't be able to share all these tips and tricks with you if we didn't do it ourselves and know it from us. Like, it's us who are doing the work. Christine Ho says, hi, I'd like to know how to keep dust at bay and how do you clean out your lampshades, especially those made out of cloth material, kind of like this one. Really simple solution for that. All you need is a lint roller. And if you check our lint roller video, you can see exactly how that's done. And yes, I will link it down below for you. Lindsay Kramer says, how many employees do you have at CMS? Oh, we have a lot of CMS business questions. Very interesting. What are some of the major roles involved in your company? Okay, so this is a very good question. And I know a lot of you guys ask me about my business, which I love talking about, by the way. So I'm happy to answer this. So right now, I want to say we have 20 people. I lose count. I know that might not be the best thing considering that I own the business, but to answer your second question, one of the most major roles in the company is that of general manager. We happen to have the most fabulous, wonderful, amazing young lady working at our company named Amanda. You might have heard me talk about her before. And if you asked her, she would know that information. So anyway, she's really important because I'm not at the business every day, because I'm doing this stuff on YouTube. And then we also have a customer support person who also helps out with our staff, hiring, training, all that kind of stuff. In a small business, you tend to wear a lot of hats, so our office employees tend to wear a lot of hats too. And then there's also, trainers who are really important as well. So we have people who are on the road who have been trained extremely well. They've been with the company for a good long time, and they train any of our new hires. So I would have to say those are probably the three most important roles there, which is pretty interesting considering that I'm not one of them. Justine Cooperner says, what is the best way to clean the dishwasher? And we have a video about that, and I will put that for you in the comment box, description box down below. Riley Cherokee says, best way to clean sticky residue off different surfaces. We have some from tape and caulk on our wood and granite. Okay, so this is a really good question. We have a lot of DIY adhesive remover videos out there, and we've tested a lot of different things. Rubbing alcohol works, olive oil works, peanut butter works. You can make your own. And I will put description box links for you to videos talking about stuff like that can remove adhesive, but it's very easy, and don't let that stuff freak you out in the slightest. And then in terms of removing the caulk that you have on your surfaces, you can actually use a scraper to do that, and I will link that, put an Amazon link to the scraper down below for you. It is sharp enough to get rid of anything, so you can lift up paint or caulking or whatever, but it won't scratch the surface. Jessica Bird asks, what are some of your family's holiday traditions, and do you plan to start any new ones soon? This is an interesting question. Chad and I come from different backgrounds. My family celebrates Hanukkah, Chad's family celebrates Christmas, so we get to do a little bit of both. Both of our families have lots and lots of parties. There are lots and lots of events and food and presents and drinks and all kinds of fun stuff that go on. So we partake in our family's holiday traditions, which is lots of fun and really enjoyable. It's something we both really look forward to. The next thing that we do, which I would say is a really important tradition for us, is setting goals. So each year on New Year's Eve, not on the actual evening, but during the day or close to that time, Chad and I will sit down and we write out our goals for next year. So where we want to travel to, what we want to do business-wise, maybe some things we want to do for the house, some other things go into the mix. And then during the year, we check back on those goals and we kind of see how we're doing. And we also use this time, during New Year's Eve to look back at last year's goals and sort of reflect and see how we did. And that's sort of, I would say, the most important holiday tradition for the two of us. And I'm sure as our family grows in the future, we'll do all kinds of interesting things like the next iteration of ugly holiday sweaters or something like that. Hope that answered your question. Through My Eyes says, I thought Canada used the metric system, but in the last Q&A you described your height using the imperial system. So I'm just curious, does Canada still use the imperial system in daily life? Or did you say this because the majority of your audience is from America? Interesting question. We do use the metric system here. We drive in kilometers, we drink and consume in liters, all that kind of stuff. However, height is one of those things where if you asked me how many centimeters I was, I would have no idea what to tell you. I mean, my driver's license knows, and maybe my doctor, and that's about it. Height, for whatever reason, it's just always been that way, 5'4", 6'5". But everything else, we definitely stick to the metric system. Hope that answered your question. Leah Halawani asks, how to prevent getting lint when you wash your clothes? Every time I do a load, I end up getting tons of lint on my clothes. Please help because I'm hating laundry. This could go a number of ways, so I'm just gonna throw a few ideas out there and see if any of them resonate or will perhaps help you. The first one and the most obvious is, are you checking your lint filter in your dryer? If that is not checked, A, it's a fire hazard, but B, it can really prevent your dryer from sucking up all of that additional lint, so that is a really important thing to check. Also, are you checking the pockets of the clothing? If there are any paper, gum wrappers, any little things like that, those can become lint-like and really mess up your wash, so make sure that you're attentive to pockets and any hidden things that are getting into that load of laundry. Other things that it could be, if you're washing anything that's new, that's fleecy or cottony, that'll often lint, and shed lint into the rest of your load. And finally, if you're mixing towels with the rest of your clothing, that oftentimes will put extra lint into your load as well, which can make laundry time frustrating, which is clearly what you're experiencing. Yesenia Capetillo Weddington says, how to clean stainless steel appliances, please. Most of my appliances are stainless steel and I'm pregnant right now, so I'm trying not to use any harsh chemicals. Easy answer for you. We have a video. Actually, we have 2 videos on this. The first one is like totally cheese, so don't watch it. But the second one is great and answers this very question and shows you how to clean your stainless steel using nothing more than the simple basic business you already have in your kitchen, like so many other suggestions that we have. Put the links for you down below. And you weren't the only one asking this question, by the way. A lot of you were asking this question. I should just say really quickly, if you have a cleaning question and you're wondering if we have a video on something, if you go to our channel page on YouTube, the one with our channel trailer and all of our different playlists, you'll see there's a little magnifying glass, and you can click on that magnifying glass and you can type in stainless steel, toaster, bed, pillow, anything, and it'll bring up any of our videos from our catalog that cover that topic. So just wanted to point that out to you guys. Burning ITX says, I have a question. How do you tell your close friend that their house is not clean even when they think it is, without hurting their feelings? Now, this question was quite hot on the Clean My Space comment section. A lot of people had a lot of things to say about this, and for good reason. I think there are 2 sides to every story. On one hand, yes, it's like telling someone you got like a giant piece of broccoli in your teeth, and on the other hand, it's sort of like treading along an inappropriate line, so you don't quite know what to do. My personal take on it would be, if it was problematic, like they had children and it was a really unsanitary environment, or there was like animal neglect, or they were hoarders or something, it might be something you'd want to bring up delicately, like perhaps start with a story about yourself and then, sort of open it up that way and lead into them and see if they bite. Otherwise, maybe it's better just not to say anything. But I don't know. I mean, that's just me. It's only one opinion. It is tough though, and I understand. I've been to houses like that too, and I know sometimes you want to say something, but on the other hand, is it appropriate? So I don't know if I've helped you any, but there's your answer from me. Desi Rogers says, what's the best dishwasher detergent? So I can tell you what I use. We use those Cascade action packs. And the reason we use those is because they work really well. And it's one of those things where when you find something and it works, you stop questioning it, you stop looking for new stuff, and you just stick with it. So that's what I've always used. Joe Smith asks, Melissa, I wish your cleaning company was in my city, Calgary. Have you ever thought of franchising your business? Also, do you have any plans to market your own line of cleaning products or tools, etc.? Okay, Joe, You have like really asked some important questions here. Okay, in terms of franchising, we have decided not to franchise. There has been so much talk about it between Chad and I and some other parties, but at the end of it, it makes sense for us not to franchise. And you will understand more about this decision as time goes on. But trust me, I wish we were in your city too, because I know there's a big need for good cleaning everywhere in the world. And the second part of your question about any plans to market our own line of cleaning products and tools, I am very excited. We have not said a word. We have been these quiet little birdies for the longest time, but you guys have asked for years about microfiber cloths. And the problem is I have never found a microfiber cloth that is available everywhere that I can tell you guys about that you can pick up. And the ones that I do find are only available if you buy them in huge quantities or for commercial purposes only. So it's taken a lot of work on our end. We have saved some money up. We are putting the plans in motion now, but we are going to be bringing in a line of Clean My Space microfiber cleaning cloths in 2015. Wendy Camacho asks, how did you and Chad meet? We actually covered this in our last Ask CMS live video, but because there are a lot of new faces or people who haven't seen that video, I will tell you, Chad and I met on the internet, on plentyoffish.com. So if any of you guys have done online dating, you know how shady and sketchy Plenty of Fish is, but there have been some really great relationships that have come from it, including Chad and me. Lori Mack asks, you sometimes talk about audiobooks. I'm wondering which books are your favorite to listen to? I love listening to business books because I always need inspiration and ideas, and I need help navigating running two businesses, let alone one. Plus, there are so many things changing these days and also some really great new concepts coming to light. So keeping myself up to date on business books is really important. I'm actually going to be starting a new audiobook soon called Scrum, The Art of Doing Twice the Work in Half the Time by Jeff Sutherland. And I will put a link to that down below. It sounds really interesting, and if I can do twice the work in half the time, I am totally listening to that audiobook. Speaking of audiobooks, our good friends at audible.com, they've been doing this for a while with us now, and we love it and you love it. They offer our listeners a free audiobook and 30-day trial. If you go to audible.com/cleanmyspace, you can pick from over 150,000 audiobook titles. They live on your devices. They are yours. You can listen to them whenever you want. Start, stop, repeat, whatever you like. Great for driving, great for cleaning, great for cooking, great for anything. Audible.com/cleanmyspace, that'll get you a free audiobook and 30-day trial. I want to take this opportunity to wish you and your family and friends the most wonderful holiday season this year, whatever it is that you're celebrating. It all comes down to good food, good drinks, good people, good times, and hopefully good presents anyway. So I hope that you really enjoy this time of year, no matter what holiday you're celebrating. This week's comment question, I'm gonna throw it back out there to you and find out, what would you tell a friend if you thought their house was dirty? Let me know in the comments down below because I am quite curious and we need to clear up this little debacle here. There's a button down there that lets me know you care and wishes me a happy holiday. So click it if you liked this video and click this button right here to subscribe if you haven't done so already and begin your journey to a cleaner life. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you next time.
Now it's that time, everybody's favorite time. It is the time that we answer your questions during the end of the video. However, this week we're doing something a little different because we just spent the past 25 minutes answering your questions in a video. So during the end card comment question part of this video, I decided to answer a few more of the questions from last week's video. So let's get to it. Lifeline 1702 asks, any babies planned for the future? I would love to see how you keep everything clean and sparkly with babies and kids running around all the time. I would like to see that too. And yes, Melissa and I do have children planned for the future. However, when those children will come flying out of Melissa is yet to be determined, so you will have to stay tuned to see when future children do arrive. GP Works asks, is there any way to get around not having to iron sheets? Yes, you simply do not iron your sheets. I don't iron our sheets here. We usually just sleep on wrinkly sheets. But it's only Melissa and I that see them, so I just don't take that extra step to iron the sheets. So there you go. That's the easiest way to get around not ironing sheets, is to not iron sheets. Daniel Jonathan David says, wow, I forgot what question I was gonna ask. You're beautiful and intelligent. Thumbs up. Well, thumbs up. You're beautiful and intelligent too, Daniel Jonathan David. But thank you for mentioning that. Ruby Sue says, I love your videos. Question, how do you make your home look nice on a budget? I know you are great at cleaning tricks, but what about wall decor and things like that? Well, the wall decor and the decor of our house, most of it is just done by me, and I really, I love to shop on a budget. I don't think I ever pay full price for anything. And I just collect pieces that I like, pieces that speak to me. I don't care what a designer says. I don't care if anybody else has an opinion about what the inside of my house looks like, because I care about what the inside of the house looks like. So I purely go through and purchase things based upon what I like and where I think that they should go. So if you always end up listening to that part of yourself, you can never go wrong when it comes to decorating your house. Last question is from MyRose889. How do you get a clean start to the new year? That's an excellent question. And sure enough, the first video that we have slated to be released in the new year, I believe it comes out January 3rd or so, is actually about that exact subject. Cleaning resolutions, New Year's resolutions, as it pertains to cleaning your home and caring for your home, and how you can go through and make sure that those stick throughout the year and all of the rest. So stay tuned for that video. Like I said, it'll be the first Saturday video release in the new year. Next week, I'm already feverishly working on a end of year in review special, so I hope you enjoy that. Leave your comments and questions below. If you have any questions that you would like to ask me directly, please leave them down below. Thank you for watching as always, and we'll see you soon.